You all right? My name's Paul. I've got autism and I make random videos based on my version of autism, where my mind works, and I stick the videos on the internet just in case you fancy watching them. All right. I don't know why I say that at the beginning. I've obviously never put any thought into my intro. I obviously don't have an intro thing. I'm not like a television channel, the Paul show. Um, so yeah, I don't know where my intro comes from, but that's what it's going to be for now. Anyway, I just want to apologize a little bit for the way I'll probably be through the video because I'm a bit scattered today. I've got a bit of brain fog. Those of you who suffer with it will know exactly how it feels. But it's kind of like all your thoughts are trying to be pushed through syrup. Where you've usually got an open space and clarity and everything just flows freely as you'd like it. At the minute, my thoughts are very sluggish, they're harder to process, and it's harder to find the words. So, what I've got to be aware of is I don't want to fill all my dead space with, like I say all the time, fully aware of it. I'll still say it 1,000 times, but I'm trying not to say it 10,000 times. And because I don't edit the videos, because I want you to see me as me, I'm not selling anything. I want you to get a real vibe off me. That's because we're friends, aren't we? And I want us to be, connected. And if people spoke how they do on, edited videos where it just chops, 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 we'd just never get anywhere. It'd be a very weird conversation. So I just might be a bit more scattered, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if I'm looking a bit lost or I lose my train of thought, I'm letting you know now that that might be expected. But what I want to have a chat about, in all honesty, because I know it's weird that I'm doing a video when I already know my head's a bit messed up. But no time like the present, and I'm feeling in the mood to do one. But what I want to talk about is December as an autistic adult, because I couldn't find anything yet again. I keep finding tips, and as much as tips are appreciated, what's quite obvious by some autistic channels, not all, because like I've said before, I'm not here to flame anyone. All credit to you for what you do. If you're trying to promote autism with a truthful and positive way of trying to push it forward and get it known, a lot of videos just seem like someone's found a page from someone else, copied it, but decided to record it instead of coming up with something original themselves. So it gets really frustrating for someone like me because I'm looking for videos and I'm looking for documents authentic. I want them to be real. I want them to be pragmatic. I want them to be practical. I want to see what that human had a problem with, what they did, and where they've ended up. I just don't find it often. And I typed in, autism problems, autism troubles, autism issues, December. I wanted to see where people had problems in December because that's my hardest month being autistic. Uh, and I didn't find it. All I kept finding was for kids. And rightfully so. December is more of a month for children. Um, but again, it's more for, things will change. There's going to be decorations, there's going to be lights, there might be a Christmas tree in the living room. There'll be difference visually. Make sure you talk to them about it. And yeah, I know that. But, these kids are going to become adults one day. So who's going to protect them if there's nobody talking about anything there? And maybe I'll try and talk about that transition phase and what would have helped me should I have known I was autistic rather than me charging headfirst into a world full of adults and having a fight with them all. Because you just don't know. Being a kid and being protected and having all these control measures in place, the day you turn of age, it's pretty much all gone. For some, people on where I sit on the spectrum, it disappears for people like me. But I'm still an adult, kind of, and I struggle with December, and nobody would tell me what to do. So, what I thought I'd do, if you don't mind, is just talk about December and the things which cause me a problem and why, and what I've basically done, which is a really simplistic answer, just to try and make it a bit easier. So if I take the weather, for example, I love the rain. It's my favorite. It makes me feel alive. I get hypersensitive for touch. And when rain hits me, it feels amazing. I'm not one of those people who runs from the rain and pulls my collar up or throws a hood up or an umbrella and runs fast to get out of it. I open my arms and look up to the heavens. I love it. I love cold weather as well. Love it. Like last night was or when I woke up this morning, it was the first day that it's actually been minus in the temperature. It was -1 when I woke up at 7 a.m. And I love it because the house is warm. And then I open a door or I open a window and it's like getting smacked in the face by Mr. Frost. It's just, again, hypersensitive to extreme weather change. And I love the feeling. I've really embraced it. And I love the dark. I love the dark nights. I like the fact that it's not light often. So whereas people will get seasonal affective disorder in winter, I get it in summer. I hate the summer. I hate that it's light. I hate that it's never dark. I hate that it's too warm. I'm a cold, dark, wet weather creature. But come December, I don't like it. So I had to try and figure out when I actually, thought about it because there's some things you just don't think about. And, me, I didn't associate why I do like that weather, but I don't like it in December. I'd never thought about it. Never really wondered why I didn't like it anymore. What was the problem? Um, like decorations that people have up, Christmas trees, ugly sweaters, mulled wine, Christmas carols, the Christmas movies on TV. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. If you want to argue with that, off you pop. Uh, and yeah, I will be watching Die Hard this Christmas. Anyway, but why was Christmas songs? And I know there's only about 10 of them that are any good, but why can no new artist write a good Christmas song? Why do we have to thaw out Michael Bublé every year just for him to sing the classics? Who knows? What am I on about? See, losing my train of thought. But what I'm getting at is everything sort of bothered me about December. The things that I usually like, things that I don't normally like, there was that crossover of confusion and I didn't like it. And I will do a video about Christmas because I think that's a completely different topic, even though it's linked to the month and my down feelings. But if we take something like work, for example, I've got to work. That's where there's that difference between children and adults with autism. Children don't have to work. I do. And we don't live in an autism friendly world because what people will say and do publicly, they rarely do privately. Not in all cases, but for someone of my age, my gender, trust me, it's not an easy place to be. Men are generally not very emotional. I don't care. Obviously, I'm very open with what I share. I've been vulnerable 1,000 times on here. People probably think I'm a right mad, a right sulker. But I don't know, if I was to approach my big burly boss, a big burly stereotypical boss, and was like, I don't feel good. I think I need a little bit of time away to clear my head. He'd tell me to get a grip because I've worked for people like that before. It's a difficult landscape, but work's hard anyway. But I manage to spin those plates usually. But what I found quite interesting because I'm off work at the minute with stress, which there's plenty of videos that I've done on here called the butterfly effect, which I've not finished yet because I'm still on this journey. But you'll know that I'm off with stress if you've seen any of them. Now, even though I might be feeling a bit better, as in I think I could probably go back to work on a very part-time, very light load basis. I could probably go out, do one stay over, do 1 or 2 assessments, and then write them up, and that's my week done. That's how I feel. That's how I feel I could manage at the minute. But because December's here, I can't do it. I'm hiding behind everything because personal things happen in December. People get personal because they want to be nice, they want to connect, and I understand all of it. But whereas I have this like titanium wall built around my psyche, for some reason, where when people get personal, I can't fake, fabricate, or even attempt to show an ounce of interest in them personally. And it isn't because I'm not interested, it's because I am there to work. My mind goes, between these hours, you get paid this money to do these jobs, full stop. And for some reason, unless it's work related, my mind can't seem to process that and it can't seem to absorb it or take it on board. And when it's in December, people get quite personal about what are you up to this Christmas? Have you got any plans? Are you going anywhere? Are you seeing family, friends? Is anyone coming to yours? What do you do on the day? Do you cook the turkey? Do you even have a Christmas dinner? Do you go out? Who do you buy for? It's like, whoa, none of your business. But you can't say none of your business because they're just giving an interest, aren't they? That's the thing. And whereas in work, usually, in team meetings, you'll have team building exercises where you'll be, I don't know, like, let's say the meeting starts at 9 and everyone logs on at 5 to 9. That dead space of them 5 minutes is everyone sort of talking about what they've done on the weekend, what they've got coming up, any problems, just riffing, having a joke, whatever. If I could, I would join my team meeting a millisecond before my boss goes, "Good morning, team," because I don't want any of that. I don't want to know any of that. I don't need to know any of that. Whereas they do. And that's where there's a massive difference between neurotypical people and me and my version of autism, because I've put so much effort all my life in trying to be everyone else, trying to behave for everyone else, trying to feign interest in things that people are interested in so I don't stand out, so I'm not too weird. That because I am older now, because I'm no spring chicken, I've had enough. I've had enough of doing that. So, because I don't need any human beings to recharge, because I need my alone time, that's how I recharge. It doesn't matter how fantastic that hobby is, or that gift is, or that free time you want to give me is. Unless I'm alone doing nothing but recharging, I will always still need that time to recharge. And again, people who I speak to don't understand that. And it's frustrating because you always feel like you're just talking a different language, just one step over. We all understand the same words, but it's like I've just shifted a little bit. When an audio, when you watch a video, it might be out of sync a little bit. That's how I feel with people. I feel like there's just something misconnecting every time we talk. But anyway, so what I'm getting at is I'm trailing and falling off, aren't I? So I struggle when it's normal team meetings. And I've spoke to my boss about this. I've said, look, I don't want to partake in quizzes and, I'm not here to win or lose. I'm here to do my job. I find it too difficult and it keeps me anxious all weekend. And he understood. He is a nice guy, my boss. He's not done me wrong at all. And that's why I felt bad when I went off, because it actually wasn't his fault. But anyway, so come around December, that dead space waiting for the meeting to start is all personal. And it's too personal. And because it doesn't matter what answer you give. So if I say, yeah, I'm going to see family this year, no one ever just goes, "Oh, that's nice." They go, "Oh, who are you off to see then?" Then I've got to make people up because I'm not doing that. But if you say, "Oh, I'm doing nothing, I'm just going to sit in a fresh pair of pajamas, play computer games, drink beer, eat snacks, fall asleep in my mess. They're like, oh, well, do you not want to go and see family? So there's just always a comeback. So it doesn't matter what you say, people just want more. And I find it really difficult because, like I say, we're not doing personal, we're at work, and my mind just does not. My mind's like a switch, it's the black and white, it doesn't have that grey area. Because when I give the grey area, I give too much. So that's why I'm off work now, because I gave a full range, I just let everything in. And then I overworked and cared too much about things that people above my pay grade don't care about. And that's not fair. So I have to keep impartial, and impartiality for me means I'll talk to you about work during work hours, but outside of that, it's all good. So it gets personal, so it gets harder. So I couldn't go back to work even if I wanted to, because that's coming. And even if it's not people in a team meeting, it'll be people who will go out to do work with. They're all going to be mentioning something about Christmas. Some people might even say, do you fancy meeting up for a Christmas drink? No, I don't drink. I'm on medication at the minute. I can't drink, and I'm not coming out if I can't have a beer. Shouldn't have to make up lies, but people can't just hear you say something like, I don't do that, but thanks anyway. It's so rare that someone will go, no worries. They usually, oh, why not? Don't be like that. Come on, come out. It's Christmas. No. And I always run that risk of offending and bothering and bringing people down for being honest anyway. But when it starts to cross lines, it's more bothersome and problematic. And I'm just trying to protect and preserve people's feelings who don't think of mine, in a way. So that gets difficult. And then there's going out for a Christmas do with the people you work with. And I've only been out once in the last 7 years with work for whoever I've worked with. And it was that traumatic. I don't remember anything about the next day. I don't know if any of us met for breakfast. I don't know where I went. I don't know if I drove home. I don't know if I went to work somewhere else after. I have no recollection of any of it, and I wasn't drunk. And that's another choice I have to make. I'll drink Guinness, because Guinness, I could drink a bathtub full of Guinness and it won't touch me at all. It does not make me drunk. So I have to drink safe, because there's another thing. You come on, you can't have a Coke. Come on, don't be. It's Christmas. Have a beer. So then people are always pushing on, and it's like, ah. So it just makes you flustered and gets you bothered. So work's a problem. Going out for work, on a work do is a problem. So I need a good excuse to avoid that. And personally, it's tough and difficult anyway, because if I just want to go shopping my usual Tuesday after 8 p.m., shops are now busy because everyone's stocking up for Christmas, because for some stupid reason where I live, the shops are closed for one day. But the way people shop, you'd think that they're shut for 4 months. They've trolley after trolley, the queues are down the aisles. You try and get a slot to do online shopping and they're just all fully booked. It turns into a nightmare. So personally, I struggle with that. If I just want to take a walk into town, I always do it really early in the morning because I try and avoid as many people as I can. But now everybody's in town as well because they all want to make the most of their time that they're off, or they've got family and friends visiting. So what is usually the big free-for-all at lunchtime is now like that at 9 a.m. And so I can't go to town and I can't get the fresh air. I can't unwind. I can't settle. So I'm fighting everything for December for me to get what I need. And what I need is nothing. That's it. I don't want to have the conversations. I don't want to come on a works do. I wish you all the best and hope you have a fantastic time. Just without me. And going to the shops shouldn't be a trauma, but it is. And Autism Hour, I don't know who invented that, but it doesn't work where I live. It's the same shop, it's the same people, it's the same amount of people shopping in there, but it's at an unsociable hour. I'm usually working. because the person who invented it didn't think people with autism work. Um, and yeah, it's just they don't put the music on and the lights are a bit better. It's not autism hour. Supermarkets need to think smarter and have a dedicated aisle of car park. So many, like you have a parent and child bays, you have disabled bays. What about ones for me? And they're not for so I can be closer to the shop. They're for making sure that the people in car parks who want to wash my car don't approach me. It's this. It's a pain. December's a pain because I just want to carry on as normal, but because things are different, I can't carry on as normal. I have to then be more vigilant. I have to be more switched on. I have to be more bothered. I have to create more walls and boundaries because, people will text who haven't texted for 11 months. And all of a sudden you get a text message of people going, "Hiya, mate, long time no speak. Fancy meeting up for a beer?" And it's like, no. But they'll want to go for a beer in a town centre, in a pub, and they're going to be ridiculously busy because it's Christmas and everybody else has got the same idea. So December gets my anxiety levels go through the roof. Or they used to, because as you'll learn in my Christmas video when I talk about Christmas Day, Boxing Day, because I'd rather talk about them separate, otherwise this will be a dead long video. And mine already are, as you know. I just need to make sure I'm all right because nobody else considers that because they think Christmas is great. It's a great time of year. Let's all get together. But I think different. So the fact that I don't like my favorite weather, I've got no time for decorations, the songs, anything to do with Christmas is because I'm burnt out and I'm bothered and I'm worked up and I don't get as much recharge as I can at other times because of just how busy everything and everyone is and how personal it can get and can become. So what I did is, obviously I can't go back to work while all that's a risk. Anyway, so I'll miss all that this year from work. That makes me feel a bit better. And because I'm not at work, chances are if they are all meeting up and they're all going to do a Christmas function, I'll get to miss that as well. Because I'll be given more. This is what's crazy. Because I'm off with stress, even if I was asked, "Do you fancy coming, mate?" If I went, "No, it's not for me," they'll go, "Oh, okay, no problem. We just thought we'd ask anyway." But if I wasn't off with stress and I gave the same answer, they wouldn't give the same response. It'd be, "Oh, come on, don't be like that. We never get to see each other. It's once a year. What's the matter with you?" So, you get more of a response because I'm stressed. So why does stress matter but autism doesn't? And it's all about education. I get that. But it doesn't make me feel any better when I'm the one on the, at the end of the boot, always getting kicked, always feeling it, always ready to be kicked. It's a tricky way of always feeling, and I still need to buy food, I still need to shop, and my safe time is now impacted, so I might try a different tack this year and, the shop's open from 6 a.m. Maybe instead of going at the death before they close, maybe I'll go at the early start and see if that's any different, and just by throwing in a few personal control measures, of making sure that I'm in a better position to push things back and not feel obliged. Because that's the one thing you always feel is obliged because everyone wants you to do something at some point for some reason. But they're not your things that you want to do at any point for any reason. Otherwise, you'd be the first one to say it. But taking a bit more control back and going, "No, thank you." "Oh, why not?" Oh, it's not for me. I have autism. Some things are difficult, and to attend that would be difficult. All right. So I appreciate the offer, but I won't be able to make it. And I think giving a response like that, you are thanking them for the invite, but you're also educating them that you're not just saying no because you don't wanna. You're saying no because something actually stops you or gives you more social anxiety than usual. Because why would you want to go somewhere that's busier than ever with more people there, with ugly sweaters on, ugly Christmas jumpers, um, and young people who can't hold the drink and they've all of a sudden decided they're all going to drink mulled wine and they're off the face after one and a half. Which they're allowed, the young, the learning, but hangovers are the things that stop you drinking a lot. And there's only one way to get a hangover. So I don't know. I think it's because I am off anyway. I've just been putting a bit more thought into it and gone, I understand that I might always be the guy who says no. I might always be the guy who says, I'm not into that. I don't do that. I appreciate, but thanks anyway. Because I don't want to apologize because I shouldn't be sorry for not wanting to attend. I'm allowed to not want to attend. But what I noticed is when I started owning the autism, when I started going, I am autistic, things are different, and it's a reason. It's not just me being negative or choosing not to do it or choosing to be antisocial. There is something inbuilt in me that prevents me from doing it. And I started giving the no answers. My bad weather that I love, I started to enjoy again. Not as much because it's still a stressful month, and putting a bit more pre-thought into, instead of getting bothered by everyone shopping at my time, because it is my time, I'll change it up. I'll go when I know even less people are going to be around, which is right in the morning, because the only people who are there are old people who don't sleep and people coming off night shift. That's a lot less people. Parents aren't there because they're in bed or getting the kids ready for school. Brilliant. They're the people I'm trying to avoid. So I'll change it up. And because I'm willing to change it up and I'm not sulking that things are now different, I'm taking control of that. Makes me feel a bit better. And then when I'm in the shop shopping and it's quieter and there's a Christmas song on, I'll enjoy it a bit more. Even though they're all, like I say, there's only about 10 of them that are any good. But just so you know, my favourite Christmas song is Fairy Tale of New York with the original lyrics. I'm not one of these snowflakes who got upset by a certain word in the song. It'd be weird if someone wrote a song now and that word was in it. I get that, but the song's great. I love it. My least favourite is Paul McCartney's Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. It's basic, easy, boring, and he gets bucket loads of royalties for it, and it's crap. But anyway, and then because I've started to own it, and because I've changed a few things around just to facilitate that month, because the rest of the world ain't going to change, it's given me a bit more freedom back. So like I say, I can enjoy the songs. I can look at nice decorations and go, that's nice, that is. They've done a good job there. And I can enjoy my little slice of December too. Because even though the world is for everybody else, I get that. And it would be great if it could be more for us too. I'm not in the camp where I shout that it's everyone else's fault. I wonder what I can do as well. And that's why it's a problem with the child to autism on the internet, because it's all about you being looked after, but there's no talk about how you look after yourself. And that's what I'm saying. It's the ownership of what you can do, because the world is going to change around you. But what are you going to do? How are you going to make it work for you? The things that impact you and you're in control of it, let's give it a go. Slow and steady wins the race. And slow and steady, even at my ripe old age, is starting to win the race in spaces and places where now I've owned the autism, I realised it has to be me that makes the change if I want to improve. And December's going to be there, so is Christmas, so is festivities, so is everybody else's happiness. And I don't begrudge anyone of any of it, as long as I can have mine too. So anyway, I hope this made sense. I hope I didn't lose track too often, and I hope I got my point across, whatever it was. But until next time, thanks for watching, and keep smiling.